12 behaviors that destroy relationships. Are you and your partner having some difficult times? Or are you trying to check the red flags in a partner before you enter a relationship and are not sure what to look out for? Then this video is for you. There are literally millions of daily routines that help us build a solid romantic relationship, but so are there actions that damage partnerships. If you're looking to have the perfect relationship, then these are the typical relationship blunders you should avoid. These unhealthy habits can destroy even the strongest of marriages and relationships. To remain updated on more wonderful material from us, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell before we discuss some of these behaviors you should watch out for. Let's get started with the 12 behaviors that can ruin your relationships right away. Lack of gratitude. The big things tend to excite people fairly easily. For instance, receiving a small, thoughtful present makes you happy. But in a relationship, the seemingly insignificant details count for a lot. After a hard day, did they massage your back? Appreciate them. Did they pick you up food from your favorite cafe on the way home? Appreciate them. Say thank you. Make sure to repay the favor as well. Overstepping boundaries. Technically speaking, a relationship is an agreement between two people. Understanding your partner's uniqueness is crucial, and vice versa. In fact, each other's individuality ought to serve as a spark for irrational, passionate thinking. By integrating the other's identities, a codependent partner may, knowingly or unintentionally, lessen their partner's sense of identity. No matter how the relationship develops, this is nearly always unwanted because the other person feels confined and in control. Respect is the cornerstone of any relationship. Nothing can rescue your relationship in the long run if you treat your partner disrespectfully. Certainly, everyone deserves to be respected. No matter how many times you apologize, if you frequently treat your partner disrespectfully, it will eventually cause a rift between you two. Excessive criticism and nagging. Any relationship can suffer from excessive nagging or criticism of a spouse, regardless of how long the two people have known or cared for one another. This is due to a variety of circumstances, but the main one is that it encourages negative reinforcement and places more emphasis on what a person is not doing than on their good contributions to a relationship. It can also cause animosity in adult relationships as well as in interactions between parents and kids. This can eventually result in a breakdown in communication when one person makes requests all the time and the other just ignores them. Therefore, it's crucial to address this dynamic before it seizes control of the relationship and gets entrenched. To achieve this, try to address it by employing positive enforcement while making requests or done better. It's crucial to be understanding and give your spouse space to reply. Creating a codependent relationship. This brings us conveniently to the subject of codependency, which frequently develops in partnerships where one or both partners have little outside interests. This kind of relationship is characterized by a pattern of behavior that makes you rely on your partner for confidence and self-worth, which means that you spend most of your time looking for approval. While the idea of relationship is based entirely on the idea of two lives coming together as one, interdependencies can, of course, have a very good impact in areas like art, sport, and commerce. However, this keeps you from being overly dependent on your partner to meet your emotional needs. So it's important to keep a feeling of self-worth and your own distinct personality. Acting like you are single. Despite the fact that we have discussed the risk of codependency, it is crucial to keep in mind that a loving relationship consists of two individuals who genuinely care for, support, and connect with one another. So, finding a healthy balance between avoiding the problems of codependency and not acting like you're single is essential. Without your partner's permission, you are acting in a way that devalues them and disregards their feelings when you act as though you're single. Keep in mind that you are a part of a loving partnership at all times, and be willing to make adjustments to your single life in order to honor the qualities that first drew you to your partner. Endless jealousy. Jealousy is a very serious problem in a relationship, especially if they are based off boundless accusations or overthinking. If you constantly feel jealous anytime you see your partner talking to another person or spending a little time with a friend, then this can be due to unresolved issues and lack of communication. Before you jump into conclusion that your partner may be cheating or seeing another person, have you told them how you felt yet? Do they understand that seeing this particular person may hurt you? Communicating about these things are very essential in a relationship. Being dishonest. You could say that at one point or the other we have lied to the people we love, but lying constantly to your partner is unacceptable. The majority of the time, these are minor fabrications that have no real impact, but it's crucial to keep in mind that lying is a compulsive activity that may easily spiral out of control and seriously harm a relationship. This behavior fosters mistrust and rips apart the foundation of any relationship, whether it takes the form of infidelity or a string of minor connected falsehoods that eventually start to spread. Following impulses and compulsions. Sadly, lying is just one of the numerous obsessive behaviors that can destroy a relationship. These can happen when we engage in a certain behavior in an effort to feel comfort and solace when we are unhappy or resentful in a relationship. This can show up in a variety of ways, including overeating and gambling as well as shopping. These actions also demonstrate a lack of concern for your spouse and your relationship, especially given that they imply that you are unable to communicate the deepest emotions that are motivating them. In order to work together to address the underlying problems and build stronger communication between you and your partner, you must learn to be open to being vulnerable. Being clingy. You are currently committed to this person. Yes, in keeping with appreciating your partner's individuality, it's also crucial to give them room to be themselves. Additionally, research shows that doing the things that make you happy rather than always depending on your partner's approval makes you more appealing. You can forget about having a healthy relationship if you don't know how to respect each other's personal space. You can't dictate your partner. Give the other person a moment to breathe. You risk losing the person if you don't provide him or her that. Everyone wants their own space, and denying them can eventually make them feel uncomfortable. It typically occurs when a person relies too heavily on their relationship. Because of this, you need friends or a pastime so that you may focus on yourself as well. You will keep running into issues in your relationship if you keep invading your partner's personal space. Being financially irresponsible. The subject of money can make or destroy a relationship, particularly if your problems are caused by a careless attitude towards spending or a refusal to save. Having exclusive financial responsibility for oneself can also cause issues because it divides the couple and demonstrates a lack of consideration. To prevent this, adopt a thrifty mindset that reassures your partner that you have a future together while simultaneously budgeting your spending to take care of a loved one's requirements. The main source of stress in partnerships is money. That results in breakups, separations, and divorce is therefore not surprising. Playing the blame game. Blame games are the worst. They can destroy any wonderful relationship on the planet. When they are wrong, most people choose to blame their spouses rather than apologize. This is the very worst thing somebody in a relationship could do. It is not wise to blame your partner even when he or she has done nothing wrong, or to hold your partner responsible for every tiny or large problem. It has a direct impact on your relationship and ruins all of the pleasant emotions and feelings that two people share. Remember that your relationship is not a competition, so losing a few battles along the way will not be detrimental. Display a lack of attention or communication skills. A persistent lack of affection can impede your connection, as we already discussed. The same logic holds true when one spouse ignores the other or at the very least fails to show interest in their ideas, accomplishments, or statements. This problem has become increasingly apparent in the current era as a result of our infatuation with technology, as couples now spend more time engaging in social and digital media than in actual conversation. Fortunately, the first step in overcoming this problem is realizing that it exists. From here, you can make a conscious effort to spend time with one another without devices or other distractions, focusing just on talking to one another. At mealtimes, it's best to put gadgets away because this is a fantastic time for family members to bond and converse. Not making time for each other. Would you want to share your home with someone who is always busy? If the response is no, be sure to schedule time for your partner. Yes, failing to spend enough time with your partner will only lead to conflict, and you will come to recognize that your marriage is over one day. Your partner needs you to love him or her, hold him or her, be there for him or her when he or she needs you, and do other things. It is extremely improbable that you will have a healthy relationship if you don't accomplish all of this. Being responsive to someone means sending signals to the other person that you are taking in what they are saying and doing. Communication involves both transmitting and receiving information. It's much better if you can let them know that you value what they have to say. Keep in mind that you can express yourself through more than just words. The other person can also read your body language and movements. So, guys, we have come to the end of the video for today. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a thumbs up as well as also subscribe to the channel to get access to amazing content like this. Thank you and see you next time!